So for anyone else, did your mom on the way home from wherever say, no, we're not stopping at McDonald's, we have food in the fridge? Anyone else's mom say that? My mom did it all the time. But then also, isn't it weird that your mom says, no, we're not stopping for a $2 burger, but I'm gonna reward you with a PS4 or whatever you want under the tree? Some people aren't as fortunate. Personally, I was. And I always thought this was strange that my mom would not allow me to McDonald's, but would go crazy for this holiday, Christmas. And I've always thought the idea of giving presents is a little strange. So when I read the prompt for this speech, I thought I could knock out two birds with one stone. I thought I could knock out my own curiosity and figure it out for myself, and I could also give a pretty interesting speech on a topic I find interesting. Giving presents is a weird concept to me. Personally, this winter I spent too much money on a little piece of metal that's about this big for a girl that I've only known for about a year. And I felt so obligated to do this, even though I've known her for very long, and I spent some money on it, upwards of $100, which isn't that expensive. But I started thinking about this thing that I bought her. I started thinking, I spent a lot of money on this, and I just felt so inclined and so obligated because that's just the culture of America. But before I explain why we give presents, because there is an explanation, I feel like a general refresher of what Christmas is required. So Christmas is the celebration of Jesus Christ's birthday. Fun facts is nobody actually knows that Jesus was actually born on December 25th. The Mark's date of conception for Jesus was March 25th. So the Western churches, a long time ago, marked his birthday as December 25th. For a long time, there was belief that his birthday was actually January 6th, and there is still some belief there. But typically, people recognize December 25th as Jesus' birthday. So now, with presents. So obviously we think of birthdays and presents, they kind of go hand in hand, which is another separate issue that I don't quite understand either. But in this case, gifts came from the story of Jesus and the three wise men. The three wise men honored Jesus by giving him gold and silver and some other things on his birthday, December 25th. And this story kind of translated into what Christmas is today. But the thing people forget about that story is those gifts were originally given to Jesus to honor him for everything. The Bible says they bowed down and worshipped him. They opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. It's from Matthew 2:11. This is the verse in the Bible that claims to the three kings giving Jesus his presents of gold. The last thing I want to talk about with Christmas is how did we go from this nice story of the three kings to this. So originally, Saint Nick, or he is turned into Santa, was a monk. He was a monk that hailed from modern day Turkey, and he was known for his kindness. He was very respected, and the most influential story, or memorable story from Saint Nick was him saving three sisters from being sold into prostitution and slavery by their father. He purchased dowries for them, and a dowry is money you need to become married. It's kind of an old school thing. Dowries are still used today, just not very heavily, more in Middle Eastern countries. And he basically saved their life. That's the most memorable story from him. But how does that go from the monk to a big fat guy in a red suit? So Santa originated originally through a couple different ways, or a couple different theories. The one that I chose to go with was how he came to be in America, and he was largely created from the UK in that area, but America has caught a hold of this Santa idea, and it gave kids something to believe in. And he was mainly created by the newspaper for publicity and for money. In large part, most Americans don't know why we give gifts on Christmas. I personally didn't know why either. But understanding where this very common tradition came from can help us put some perspective on what it is actually for. Celebrating Jesus' birthday by following the same customs given thousands of years ago is the true reason for present giving. Americans have become especially materialized by this holiday, and a good example of that is Black Friday. A lot of people go out on Black Friday searching for Christmas gifts, or not always, but typically that's what I've known it's for. Have you ever made a Christmas list? It kind of goes to show how materialized this holiday has become, when originally it was just for honoring the person, which it still could be, but based off this picture, I think it's a little materialized. Well, my girlfriend made a Christmas list, and a nice necklace was in sparkle, and a big price tag on it was on the top of it. That's all.